Nokia is constantly changing. Most people know it from the mobile phone era. It has been able to reinvent itself many times. So our motto has been in the last several years connecting people, but now it's becoming connecting intelligence because of the AI era. And
Welcome to 31C Data Talk. My guest today is Dimitris Aivatoglou, the head of R&D at Nokia. Dimitris, pleasure having you on the show.
nice to see you.
So for those who don't know yet, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Dimitris Aivatoglou. I'm head of R&D, leading part of packet core globally in Nokia. And more specifically, I'm leading the AMF, the MAB, and the GSN functions, the R&D of that functions for Nokia globally.
How is it to work with such an amazing brand? Like Nokia is one of, I think, the most iconic brand, has a huge legacy in the telecom industry. How is it to work in such a company?
So the one thing that you need to like basically is the change because Nokia is constantly changing. Most people know it from the mobile phone era, but Nokia has always been very strong in telecoms, and it has been able to reinvent itself many times. And in this era that we live now, it's not only a telecom provider, but particularly a provider of connection of intelligence. So our motto has been in the last several years connecting people and connecting the world through our telecom solutions. But now it's becoming connecting intelligence because of the AI era and the help that we provide the hyperscalers, telecom providers to get to get the right infrastructure to support this huge boost of data that AI brings, basically. So, yeah, I mean, you need to like change and you need to be adaptable because it's a company that moves quite fast and changes directions. Doesn't afraid to change direction. So you need to be in that mode as well.
Yeah, you're coming from Greece, so you know all the Greek history and mythology. The only thing that constant is change, right? So how do you adapt that to your day-to-day life at Nokia?
So I think it's easier if you are in R&D, as I am, it's easier because you have to, your most often peers are engineers, and I'm an engineer myself. In the background, I don't write anymore so much code, but when you are dealing with engineers, change is in our blood. I mean, we constantly see new trends and new technologies, and we want to adapt. We want the shiniest new toys to play with. So it's not so difficult, to be honest, to adapt to change with engineers. However, now in my position as a head of R&D, I'm part of also more senior leadership, and the decisions that I make are affected also by business decisions. So that part is more difficult on how to adapt the rest of the company for the new changes that are coming. So AI, for example, is a huge transformation, both in technology, but also on how we structure our teams around AI now. So it's something that you need to embrace it, and you need to communicate it very well, both downwards and upwards.
You started as an engineer yourself and walked your way through to becoming a team leader. What did you learn about leadership? What was the turning point basically that made you a leader to become a head of R&D?
So it wasn't always my dream. It became gradual to dive into management. I started when I first became a senior engineer, and I started mentoring more junior engineers. It was something that I liked. And then when I became a first line level manager, I was still writing code. I was still very technical, but I also liked the part that I could influence the piece of the product that I owned with some kind of innovation, some kind of refactoring, quality improvements, and so on. So if you take that and make it bigger, then you start to want to own your own product and your own product line and make a difference. And now sometimes I think about the fact that my product is responsible for around 23% of the global traffic that comes through mobiles. It's my product. 23% it comes through my product. So every time I think of that, it gives me energy. Also some fear, the energy as well. So it comes gradually as a part of how much you want to contribute to the global sector that you are part of it. Mine is telecom, and gradually I wanted to contribute more and more and more. And this way, if you have your own product that is sold everywhere in the world, you start to make a difference. You can make a difference.
Beautiful. So walk me through a situation where you said this would never work and it actually did.
It was, I can think of a few. First of all, it was when we introduced machine learning and the AI inside our product. It was very early, like 3-4 years ago, when AI was not mature enough. But I had a few engineers that they were really ambitious about it. They told me, we can do this, and we can put some machine learning functions inside the product. We can train them with real traffic in the customer, and we can make decisions based on that. And that was like 4 years ago. There was no OpenAI still. There was no this AI boom, maybe even earlier. I was very skeptical, but sometimes I really like to let go of my, let's say, doubts and listen to my engineers. And right now we have a fantastic solution around that platform that they created back then. Of course, now we can use LLMs and more functionality, but back then it was really more futuristic compared to how we think about AI now.
Nowadays, everything is so mind-blowing, how everything is so futuristic and we actually live in it. So it's really exciting times and scary at the same time, right?
Yeah.
What would surprise people knowing about Nokia that they don't know?
Nokia, first of all, from the global traffic, more than 35% or somewhere around there passes through a Nokia infrastructure globally. Secondly, even the biggest hyperscalers like Google, Amazon, and so on, they use some of our products to build their data centers, optical networking, routers, switches, and so on. They are coming from Nokia. And recently, we have built a new factory in the US to satisfy the demand that is coming from there. So although Nokia for many people sounds like a traditional company, it's big, involved, and it's being integrated into the biggest parts of the technology right now. So
be a transition from the mobile industry to becoming an infrastructure, right? Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. I think the major part right now globally is how do you unbrand? Because your brand is so well known on something that is pure mobile, and now you need to unbrand yourself, which is a really tough challenge. How do you address that? Maybe it's a question for your marketing team, but how do you address that where people know you for one thing and you want them to actually know you on a new thing?
Right. So one of the big transformations for Nokia was that from a B2C company, like the mobile phones was a B2C commerce, right? So your marketing needed to address everyone, like you sell iPhone or you sell Android phones. It's a different kind of marketing compared to the B2B kind of marketing that we are doing now, addressing hyperscalers, telecom operators, and so on, or public sector, and so on. So there is a lot of marketing, but it's not addressed to people that are not really into telecom infrastructure or in general network infrastructure. So if you search, there are events that are being done every year, and they are very popular, like the customer user group, the core user group, the SR experts. These are events that are being done every year from Nokia, and we are inviting all the big players of the network and the telecom infrastructure. And to them, we are very well known. Someone who is not working in this area or in this sector probably does not know us, but it's not, I don't think it's in the priority of the company anymore to make this kind of marketing, the B2C kind of marketing.
Yeah, definitely. So walk me through a day as the head of R&D. If I shadowed you in the office and I walk you through the office, what would they see? Take me to your day.
Yes, starting very early, some meetings from home office to catch the late US people and early Indian. Probably some kind of customer urgency feature request that I need to sync with my team, if we can make it or not. Some other meetings that are mostly typical, like project meetings or product evolution related meetings. And then a lot of discussions with peers and engineers on how to do evolution of of our product. It really, I cannot find a pattern in my days. There are some periods where I deal mostly with customers and some other periods where I deal mostly with my product and my team and how we can be more efficient and so on. It depends on where the focus is, and the most difficult thing for me is to evenly balance it. Usually it goes towards one direction or the other, depending on how critical cases we have or big customers we have, or if I have time to deal with a team and how it operates and what we can do. So among these two,
sounds intense. And you're doing it how many years at Nokia?
I have this position now for 3 years.
How many years are you in Nokia?
In Nokia, I am since 2009, but not in this position.
So how you are able to reinvent yourself and your position in the company when you're dealing with innovation? It's not always easy.
No, it's not. And you need to be fully aware that you have to keep up with all the technologies that are coming. You have to keep up with all the changes in structures and organizations that these technologies bring. And you need to be close to your team as well, to listen to them, listen to their ideas and what they have to offer on advice. There is this thing in management that you have to spend as much time managing your team as managing your boss as well. And in positions like mine, this is really, really important because you have to spend time with my team, but I have to spend time with upper management to understand the business directives, the business, the strategy that we are taking, so that I can implement it accordingly to the team. So I always need to keep this balance between these two.
Yeah. And what most excites you about the future? If I ask you, if we meet 5 years from now, what would you be most proud of in Nokia?
Well, obviously, I want to see my product gaining more momentum, swap more competitors out of the market. And, resiliency is also a big part of something that we invest. So I will be very proud when there are reports, yearly reports, when my product comes up as most innovative, more AI native, and more resilient in the network. And resiliency is something that it's becoming more and more important 5G era because the networks are overloaded. So there are a lot of chaotic situations inside the network that you have to build your product around that. You have to build your product around being able to handle chaotic situations on the underlying network and be resilient enough to withstand them. And that's something that we are investing a lot in that area.
So Dimitris, you're based in Greece. Greece is mostly known for its beautiful beaches, great food, great people, and amazing culture and history. What people don't know about the tech industry in Greece?
It's really an exciting time for the tech industry in Greece. There are a lot of startups. I think the startup mentality has been constantly changing towards a more positive way for the past 10 years. There have been a lot of a significant number of acquisitions for Greek startups from US major companies. 2 years ago, Facebook acquired a company that made a music editing software. Augmenta, which is a farm company, has been acquired also, I think, a couple of years ago. So there is a lot of movement around startup scene, and I'm really glad to see that. Sometimes it bothers me that I'm not part of this scene because being part of a startup has always been something like a dream, I would say, or I would really love to do something like that, maybe in the future. But I really like how this scene is being evolved and how more fans, both Greek fans and foreign fans, are starting to look at the Greek startup scene. And this helps, of course.
Wow,
grow.
Fascinating. How are you with the performance of the Greece team and the World Cup?
There was we didn't qualify at all. So for us, it was not interesting. We didn't pass the qualifiers for the World Cup. But the team I was rooting for, Spain, won finally. So I'm happy.
Eventually the best team won.
Yeah, I agree. True.
Yeah, it was an amazing World Cup. Dimitris, it was a pleasure having you on the show. Pleasure meeting you, and I look forward to meeting you in Athens.
Yeah, I look forward to that too. Yeah,
Thank you so much. Talk soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.